Hello, this is Vivek sir, author of the book Introduction to Coding for Kids and Teens with Python, a blog-based approach. Please use VLC Media Player or Media Player to view this video book. Well, we are now in chapter number 5 and we are now proceeding further over to writing simple programs in Python. Actually, in this chapter number 5, I have covered more than 25 Python programs. Program number 1, calculate and print sum of the given two numbers. Step number 1 is analysis. Analysis. Read the program, calculate and print sum of the given two numbers. So, what is given? Given two numbers. And what is the required thing? Required is their sum. For given two numbers, we require two references, that is two variables. For the required sum, we require one more reference, that is one more variable. So how many variables are required altogether? Three variables. Two for storing the given numbers and one for storing the sum. Simplest possible variable names can be a and b for the given two numbers and variable s for sum. You can use any valid variable names such as no1 for number 1, no2 for number 2, sum for sum. Use any valid variable names in all the programs. So now our aim is to write algorithm. So step number 1 for algorithm can be give values to the input variables a and b. Same step exists in case of your pseudocode. So input a comma b. Do the required processing. So the second step will be obtain the sum of the variables a and b and store it in variable s, which is the output variable. Then print the required output. So the third step will be print the sum present in the variable s. Then stop or halt. Exactly same steps are there in the pseudocode. Input a and b, obtain the sum and store it in variable s. A plus b will get solved. Its value will get assigned to the variable on the left hand side, which is s. Print the value of s. As usual, the project screen will appear on the screen. Step number 1, create variables a, b and s. For that, click on variables. A submenu will be there for create variable. Click on it. Enter the new variable name such as a and say OK. Again, click on create variable. Again, give the variable name as b. Then click OK. Again, click on create variable. Give the variable name as s. Click on OK. In this way, create the three variables a, b and s. So screen after creating the variables, when the variable block is selected, is like this. Step number 2, click on equal to variable block, drag first block in the block code area, click on the drop down arrow and change variable name to a. Similarly, click and drag equal to variable block for variable b and variable s. Set the values of a and b to 10 and 20. So this is that after pulling the three blocks of equal to a, b and s, set the value of a to 10, set the value of b to 20 and now click on the math block. From there, click and drag 1 plus 2 block. Place this block on the variable s block in place of value. So in place of value, here is the place of value. In place of this value, you are supposed to drag and put this block here. After that, click on variables block again, click and drag variables a and b and then place them at 1 and 2 circles of this math block. So you are supposed to click and drag a and b from the variables block and put them here, here and here. Okay, so screen will be like this now. So here is that now, a equal to 10, b equal to 20 and s will be equal to what? A plus b. Drag print variable block from statements below it as follows. Change its contents to sum is equal to s. This is that block, print variable, or print 1 is there in new version. Print 1 is there in the new version, and pull it here, and after pulling it, change the 1 or the variable, just type down sum equal to comma s here, directly type in the print statement. The actual Python code will be in the code window. It will be like this: a equal to 10, b equal to 20, s is equal to a plus b. Assign 10 to a, assign 20 to b, assign the value of a plus b to s, and then print sum. If you click the run button, you will get the output sum equal to 30. Copy the code in your notebook, give the name program 1, sum of the two numbers. Now action during runtime execution phase. Variable a is assigned the value 10, variable b is assigned the value 20, variable s is assigned the value a plus b. Print statement prints the value of variable s along with the message sum equal to. So this is what is going to happen during the execution phase, runtime phase. So first of all, we are supposed to create the variables. Click on equal to variables, create a variable, give name a, okay. Again create a variable, give name b, okay. Again create a variable, give name s, okay. Okay, so we have created some 3 variables then now. Now we are supposed to assign the values to the variables. So click on variables. This is the s equal to, bring it here. Click on this, make it a. Make it a. A is equal to 10 for example. Again click on variables, click on this. Change this to b. B is equal to 20. Click on variables, again click on this. S is equal to, we are supposed to go in for the math now. From the math you are supposed to click this one, bring it here, attach it here. So here is a red mark and here is also a red mark, so attach it here. Now pull the variables a and b in place of 1 and 2. So click on variables again, click on a and put it here in 1. So again the red mark is there, here is that. Click on variables, get the b, pull the variable b and again put it here. So s is equal to a plus b. Click on statements, click print 1 here, print 1, bring it here and replace 1 by the actual message. The message or text is sum is equal to, sum equal to whatever you want to write down. This is the text in quotation mark will get printed as it is, comma, this is the variable name whose value will get printed. So it will print the value of s. Equivalent code is there in the code window. Statement is there, a equal to 10, b equal to 20, b equal to 20, s is equal to a plus b, assignment statement. Solve the expression a plus b, assign the value to s, then print statement will print the value of s. That's all. Click on the run and the output is sum equal to 30. Click on stop. Again click on run. Again the output is sum is equal to 30. So every time we execute the program, 10 gets assigned to A, 20 gets assigned to B. That is, the same values get assigned and hence the sum will be always 30. The aim is to obtain the area and circumference of the circle when radius is given. We are now using input. We will not supply the value directly to the variable. Here is the code now. RAD is the variable, is equal to float of input enter radius. So we are supplying the radius during runtime. It will get stored in the variable RAD. Then calculate the area. Then calculate the circumference. Print the area and print the circumference. The equivalent Python code is like this now. RAD is equal to float of input enter radius of the circle. This is the prompt for the user, guiding message for the user. Area equal to 3.14 into RAD because we have stored the radius in the variable RAD. CIR is equal to 2 into 3.14 into RAD. Print area, print the circumference. And now execute the program. So the moment you execute the program, there is an input. Further execution is suspended and the input wants data from the user. So user has entered the data 10. This is returned as a str by input, but it is getting converted into float first and then assigned to RAD. So 10 will get stored in RAD as 10.0. Then calculate area, calculate circumference and print. So the output will be area is equal to 314.0, circumference is equal to 62.8. Again run the program. Next time when you run the program, again execution starts from top to the bottom. Again the first statement is input. Further execution is suspended and input wants data from the keyboard. So now we have supplied the value 8.5, which is a float value, but input will return this value as a str. Since we have used a function float here for converting it, 8.5 will be converted into float and get stored in the variable RAD. Then calculate the area, calculate the circumference, print the area, print the circumference. So output is area is equal to 226.865. Circumference is equal to 53.38. So what is the difference? The difference is like this. Every time you execute the program, different values of radius can be given. It can be seen that the same code can now be executed to obtain area and circumference for a different set of values of radius. Okay, so every time you run the program, you can supply new value of radius and you will get the corresponding area and circumference. There is no need for you to make any change in the code. Just keep on executing it again and again for getting the area and circumference of different sets of values of radius. Program 7, biggest of given two numbers. Write a program to obtain the biggest of two numbers using if-else blocks. Here is the pseudocode now. Aim is to obtain the biggest of given two numbers. So step number 1 as usual is input. So give values to the input variables A and B. Step number 2 is processing. The processing here is not solving the expression but decision making. The process here is decision making, and for that we are going to use if. So if A greater than B, then print the value of A. Else means otherwise, print the value of B. And end if, that is the end of your if statement. This is how we write if else in case of your pseudocode. This is the flowchart. Flowchart for getting biggest number from given two numbers. Decision point used. That means we are going to use a decision box. So again start input A comma B. If A is greater than B, yes, then print A and stop. No, print B and again stop. The steps for block code are like this. So here is the block code now. These are the few sample programs which I have covered here. Actually, in this chapter number 5, I have covered more than 25 Python programs. I have covered more than 25 Python programs. These programs will help you to develop your program logic and programming concepts. So what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe to my full audio video version of this book, Introduction to Coding for Kids and Teens with Python, a blog based approach. To subscribe to the full video version of this book, kindly mail me at my email ID viveksir.abhinav@gmail.com.